Good morning, people. How are you doing? It is December 7th, 2022. It is about 8:30 in the morning. As always, I am Scott, and that is Bo, and there's no co-pilot in the co-pilot seat. Somebody back on double secret probation over on Twitter asked if I still had a copy of the video, which I just reposted on BitChute. I had to put this image together again, a new image for it, thumbnail for it. And it deals with the fact that people know that it exists, but I think few people know what the terminology is. It's called pseudocide, not suicide, but pseudocide, as in pseudo death. And that is when somebody, for one reason or another, usually in the 20th and 21st century in the United States, somebody who is affiliated with law enforcement or politics in some way, shape, or form, or somebody who is wealthy, decides to fake their own death because they are in a bind and need to find a way out. There's a whole wiki page on pseudocide. They will never, on WikiLeaks, or Wikipedia, sorry, they will never tell you, because like WikiLeaks, they are controlled by the Central Intelligence Agency. They will never, or at least edited by people who work there, they will never tell you about when government does that. Stages the death of someone. Either to disappear them, get them into a witness protection program, or, as is the case with Jeffrey Epstein, to keep him from having to go to trial, because in that trial, information would come out that they don't want to have come out. So, that's called pseudocide, where they stage a death. And as you can see here, that's the final mugshot of Jeffrey Epstein in July of 2019. Supposedly, he died August 10th, 2019, and that is a video from Rusty Shackelford's YouTube page. Someone took a drone and was flying a drone over Little St. James Island on August 30th, 2019. 2 weeks after Jeffrey Epstein supposedly hung himself in his cell in New York. As you can see from the close-up there in the bottom right-hand side, that is clearly Jeffrey Epstein. Now you can go back and look at the previous video I just put up. It's going to have the exact same thumbnail. I'm not posting the same video twice. I just am too lazy to make another thumbnail. But it's also because this is an important thing to talk about now. And it's not so much because of Jeffrey Epstein, as it is because of your ability to process information, to think for yourselves, to not be misled or kettled off into some safe little fucking pen someplace and allowed to protest 5 miles away from fucking Wall Street, where you'll do nobody any harm while they move on with their business. That's why I'm talking about this today. That's why I wanted to bring this back up. Good morning. Before we do this, this is not a sponsored video, but somebody sent me some coffee, and I had put it up in the back of the, next to the thing, but I like to keep, stuff like this in the freezer. This is Howling Monkey Organic Coffee. And Michael sent me this from all the way down from La Paz, Nicaragua. La Paz, Carrazo, Nicaragua. And this is very good coffee. He sent me 5 pounds of this. Thank you very, very much. I didn't mention it before. I should have mentioned it. It was sitting back there, but I didn't even think about mentioning it. I should have. Let me just say, I've had this before. He sent it to me before. I came back with when Barbara went down there, and very good coffee. Very good coffee. Organic. Grown on a family farm. They also have the iguanas down there. This is, on BB and I suggested the Angry Iguana coffee brand, but we've got Howling Monkey, so that's similar. Their artwork looks a lot better than mine. It says he's got the coffee, the people, the land, lays it all out, and you can go and take a look at it all on www.howlingmonkeycoffee.com. That's howlingmonkeycoffee.com. And it is from La Paz, Carrizo, Nicaragua. By purchasing Howling Monkey Coffee, you directly contribute to Nicaraguan farming families, support reforestation, and fund sustainable agriculture products. Good product, good tasty coffee. I enjoy it. I'm enjoying some of it as we speak. I wouldn't make a very good product spokesperson. But there you have it. We're going to put that right back there so you can look at it while we do the video. Again, thank you very much, Michael, and to the people down in Nicaragua. HowlingMonkey.com? No. HowlingMonkeyCoffee.com. There we go. Okay. Again, this video is less about, unless, of course, you really want justice and you want fucking pedos arrested and dealt with. But the problem is, the system is so fucking corrupt. It's like Ghislaine Maxwell. Did you guys know that when no one could find her, where is she? She had purchased in 2019, after the whole thing with, not the monkey coffee, after the whole thing with fucking Jeffrey, she purchased a fucking plot of land in New Jersey someplace, 156 acres, and a nice big fucking house on it. And she had former British Special Service military guys as her fucking private little army of security people on her, patrolling her 156 acre fucking piece of land. She just, I don't know if there was a fucking heliport. I'm sure there was enough space there for her to do that, so she could fly to a local fucking little airport and fly a private jet out of that and go to a fucking international airport and go where the fuck she wanted to go. These people live in a fucking different world. They live in a different world. She is now in a minimum security fucking facility for the next 20 years, wink wink, down here in Florida. That's the same goddamn state where they set up this sweetheart deal for fucking Jeffrey Epstein that was exposed by Julie Brown and the Miami Herald, which got him busted the second time up in New York. That's the same fucking state that they cut a sweetheart deal for him to pretend as if he was in prison in jail for a year for fucking diddling with little girls. The whole time letting him go off and go over wherever he wants and putting him in a fucking car and having 2 fucking guards, police officers, COs, correctional officers from the jail, chauffeur him around. Take him to his office. Let him hang out in his office for 10 hours, 12 hours a fucking day, doing blow, doing little fucking girls, doing hookers, whatever the fuck he did. Making his money. This is the same state they did that. Pretending for the plebes, yes, he's doing his time, he's doing his fucking service. They sent her to the same fucking state where they did that for him. What do you think they're doing for her? People, I mean, let me show you just briefly some of the stuff that I did back in the day. Most of my stuff on this is gone. Here you go. Here you go. Maxwell moved to a remote 156-acre fucking property in Bedford, New Hampshire. I'm sorry, not New Jersey, New Hampshire. In late 2019. Where she used former British military personnel security until her arrest in July of 2020. 156-acre property with British Secret Service, former British Secret Service acting as her goddamn private security force. Let me ask you a question, boys and girls. That's late. That's late, 2019. Let me ask you a question, boys and girls. You think he ever stopped by? How would you know? Of course he did. They probably had parties. Celebrities you know probably went there. Post-mortem. Politicians you may have voted for recently were probably there post-mortem. And certainly children. These people, it's not, they don't live in the same world we live in. Why can't, this is my website, and this is the one after they took down my website, my other website. Starting in July of 2000, actually before then, way before then, you can go to older posts here. But you'll notice something interesting about the video. It's gone. Why? Because YouTube took down all of my second channel, which had this stuff on it. Jeffrey Epstein, Alan Dershowitz, and the Underage Honeypot Express. Gone. Why did Dershowitz and Sinovich join Miami Herald lawsuit to keep some documents sealed? Gone. Jeffrey Epstein, frontman of a Wexner mega group honeypot operation. Gone. Devil of Little St. James, the true Jeffrey Epstein story. Gone. That was from documentary. I didn't make that, but it was from documentary 2017. A bunch of stuff here from Whitney Webb. Good on her. Here's the deal. This is I think the page where the Jeffrey Epstein story has been snuffed out. Gone. His autopsy results were put on hold. Epstein, we're being Khashoggi'd again. I love it when people talk about fucking Jamal Khashoggi, whatever his name is. And they go, oh my God, those damn fucking, that damn MBS. Those damn Saudis, they killed him and he's dead. Where's the body? Oh, the body is in the fucking well. No, it isn't. Is there blood? Is there any evidence whatsoever? No, of course not. There's no evidence. He's just disappeared. Disappeared. Poof. Gone. Interesting article here. Well, can I show you that? I don't know if I can show you that. Fuck. Okay, interesting article here I got from New York Times. And because I'm subscribed to New York Times, they sent me this morning shit. One man's demands became the rallying cries for China's biggest protest in a generation. Some dude, they give him a name, posted that. He put the fucking banners up there, wearing an orange shirt and a white helmet. I believe it was a white helmet. Like the white helmets in Syria. So, white helmets in Syria or Iraq? One of those two. I forget. Syria. Supposedly he was arrested by the authorities and disappeared. He's gone. Poof. He was actually a asset, regime change asset of ours, who went into the country, posted this. New York Times says this was the fucking voice of a generation, like Kanye West, I guess. He started it all. He started the whole thing, and then they escaped him. They got him out of the country, but they can't say that because he's supposed to be just some regular Chinese guy. So they got to say the government picked him up and now he's disappeared. He's gone. They do this. This is standard operating procedure for these fucks. They did that with Khashoggi. Standard operating procedure for these fucks. Apparently I have to explain to Pierce Redmond how political blackmail works. The Epstein saga, a post-mortem. That was August 18th, 2019. And this is interesting. I had, Titus Frost did this webinar thing where he had all the people who know so much about fucking Jeffrey Epstein, and I've been talking about Jeffrey Epstein, on to do a chat, a Zoom chat. I think there was supposed to be 7 of them. Whitney Webb was supposed to be one. And of course, Ryan Dawson. I don't know who the rest of them were. Ryan Dawson starts off Titus Frost's thing, saying, laying down the law, literally in the first 3 minutes of this conference, on all the evidence about fucking Jeffrey Epstein and the death. He was murdered. He didn't commit suicide, according to them. Ryan Dawson, controlled asset, limited hangout, asswipe, who, by the way, go back and look at this early stuff on COVID and the vaccines. He comes out and says there'll be no talk. I won't tolerate any discussion about him still being alive. No. You can't talk about it. No matter what. No matter how strong the fucking evidence is. No matter how obvious it is. You can't talk about it. What have I been saying the last couple of fucking months now? Everyone cries and moans and bitches and yells about what the fucking mainstream and the legacy fucking media are doing to us. Very few talk about what the fucking our heroes and our leaders and our thought leaders in the alt media are doing to us. They're the ones setting the parameters. They're the ones setting the fucking. They're the ones bringing us back, like Cass Sunstein, back around to the fold, or trying to fucking embarrass us and smear us by association by bringing up stupid fucking whacked out idiotic crap. Well, this is fucking Ryan Dawson doing that. Back then, I called his ass out about that. Turns out Whitney, for some reason or another, did not end up doing that conference, and I think that was a wise choice of hers. I'm not going to speak for her. I'm going to do an interview with her. Hopefully, she's not too pissed off because of my concerns about her focusing so much on China. But we're going to do a talk, I think, January 4th or 5th in that area, and I'm sure this subject will be discussed. Because here's another example. Here's another current example of why it's important that we always challenge even those whom we think are on our side. I've been recently talking about, ever since Elon Musk came back and took over Twitter, and everyone said, oh my goodness, John Galt is real. He's our savior. And I've been saying, no. Look at what he does. Look at his money. Look at his plans. Look at the fucking Skynet he's creating. This fucking web of satellites that will, in the future, and his plans, connect to the thing that's going to be stuck in the back of everybody's fucking head. He's testing this now. He's asked the FDA now to test that fucking little chip that goes in the back of our heads, which will have little hair-like things implanted into your brains. That's what that's for. That's Skynet. And he's building it with SpaceX. Much of that money isn't coming just from him. It's coming from NASA. It's coming from your tax dollars. Oh, but he's a hero. He's opened up fucking Twitter. Has he? I know Barbara had 2 accounts censored by Twitter and shut down by Twitter. Have either one of those been reopened? No. Has she been offered the opportunity? No. They sent her an email? No. Text? Nope. Nothing. Ask her. A lot of people that you know, if you're on Twitter or if you're doing this kind of stuff, a lot of people have had accounts shut down. How many of them have had them reopened? I know some celebrities have, and some billionaires have, and then shut down again, Kanye. But how many real people doing real work lost a Twitter account and had it reopened? I bet that number is extremely low. In fact, there's still censorship on Twitter. He hasn't changed a whole lot of that. And he's actually come out and said he's going to keep a lot of that in place. Now, this whole thing about, and I've talked about this as well, this whole thing about the revelation that, the government and the administration at the time were in the process of censoring information on the Biden laptop, the Hunter Biden laptop, in the lead up to the election. And people are beside themselves. Oh, like the guy from The Quartering. He'll do anything. He'll do anything to suck up to the fucking alt-right. To sell his coffee. And I said, wait a minute, we knew all this. This is nothing. They're not telling us anything we didn't already fucking know. What's the deal here? He's not exposing anything. He got it to Matt Taibbi. Elon got the information because he's head of Twitter. So he then gets the information sent to Matt Taibbi, who then does this big fucking expose telling us what we already knew in order to turn fucking Elon Musk into John Galt, right? Because he doesn't want people to leave Twitter because he has plans for Twitter. Again, I've talked about this as well. He sees Twitter as the equivalent to the Chinese app that they use, whatever that is, that they use for banking, they use for communication, they use for notifications from the government to the people, they use for, like Twitter, to communicate back. It's an everything app. And that's what he wants with fucking Twitter. He wants Twitter to become the everything app, and he's the kingpin on top of that, including central bank digital currencies running through your Twitter fucking app. But also, he's at the whole time he's sending fucking satellite. He just sent one up last week, another fucking satellite for his glorious network of 5G Internet of Things, science, technology. This is what he's doing. Now, to get back to my original point, in terms of you trust but verify. It's a simple fucking theory. It's a simple. When someone shows you who they are, you can trust that. You can believe that. This information that he had sent to Matt Taibbi was supposed to be followed up by more information, because they had to admit, after enough people said, wait, we already know this shit, and people went through these leaks and said, wait a minute, there's some stuff missing. And there was one woman, she went on Tucker Carlson, I forget her name, but she pointed out days ago, when the stuff first came out, there's surprisingly little, if nothing, from the FBI. Well, it turns out somebody is vetting it all before handing it to Matt Taibbi to publish. And there's been nothing else after that first fucking dump of vetted material. Material, by the way, that had been, all the FBI stuff had been removed. Why? Because the individual doing it's named James Baker, and James Baker just happened to be a guy who was involved in the spying on fucking Trump thing via the FBI way back in the fucking day. Now, he's the one in charge of sending stuff from Twitter. Because he got exposed for that, they said, okay, we gotta find a fucking a patsy, a fall guy for this at the FBI. So it's going to be you, Mr. Baker. So Mr. Baker said, it's okay, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'll land on my feet. And he landed on his feet at a nice, cushy, high-paying job at Twitter. When Elon Musk decides, okay, we're going to send some stuff to Matt Taibbi to get out that truth, he assigns fucking James Baker, that dude, to put together the fucking information, to vet it, to figure out what's going to be sent and what's not. And he gave him that job to do, and he did that and sat it off to fucking Matt Taibbi. Now, as a result of people saying, wait a minute, where's the follow-up stuff, and why is there nothing from the FBI? Elon Musk has had to come back and go, oh my goodness, what has happened here? James Baker has done his dirtiness again. And so he's fired this James Baker, or exited, whatever that means, exited James Baker. Is James Baker the son of that James Baker? That would be very, very interesting. So here's my point. You think you're getting the inside scoop, some inside information. And just like with fucking Snowden, they say, oh my God, look at this big fucking dump. Oh my God. And it was stuff that had already been made public. Stuff that had already been fucking exposed by whistleblowers years and years before fucking Edward Snowden got together with his CIA buddies over at fucking Hong Kong and put together that little show with Glenn Greenwald, by the way. So in this case, you got James Baker, Elon Musk, and Matt Taibbi doing something very similar. Okay? They didn't tell you jack shit that you didn't already know. And everyone made a big deal about it. Like the emperor's new clothes. Look at this new stuff. The same way everyone made a big deal about fucking Edward Snowden's new fucking leaks, new information. All of it, echelon, all of it came straight from previous fucking whistleblowers. It was all out there before. Nothing new at all. But they make a big fucking deal about it. It's bread and circuses. It's a dog and pony show designed to make you feel like something's happening. We're getting to the truth. Which brings us again round and about, in a roundabout way, back to Jeffrey Epstein. This is me talking about Ryan Dawson doing his limited hangout routine with the Epstein story. This motherfucker, they fucking put together his will 2 days before his suicide, before he was murdered, according to folks. 2 days. And basically what it did was it set up a nice blind trust. And the beneficiaries of said blind trust are kept secret. Why is that? Why are the beneficiaries kept secret? The beneficiaries are kept secret, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, because one of them is Jeffrey Epstein. The guards, the cameras, the timing, the images. The fact that the fucking autopsy results had to be fucking delayed. Why? Why did they have to delay the autopsy results? People say that's not Jeffrey Epstein. It may or may not be. However, it doesn't really matter. It would make more sense because you could keep the numbers down. You have somebody that looks like Jeffrey Epstein. You have some homeless guy, some fucking dude in a prison. You have computers now, these supercomputers now. People they have access to. Nobodies, zeros. They can run through and do a fucking computer match, a facial recognition match in milliseconds. And you put in all the parameters you want, they'll tell you, boom, this guy is in fucking Idaho. Go get him. Bring him here. We all have a fucking perfect match. Everybody. An identical twin running around right now someplace. Every single one of us. Not hard to find. There's all kinds of ways to do it. You bring somebody who looks that closely like Jeffrey Epstein in and say, with the guards and the police, and say, that's him right there. And all you have to do is stage the little scene inside the fucking jail, take him out, put him in a fucking ambulance, drive that fucking ambulance with a couple of fucking cars following him, pull off on the side of the road, open the fucking door, out goes one guy, in goes the other. That's it. What's an ME gonna know? ME's gonna say that's fucking Jeffrey Epstein because all the guards and police say it's Jeffrey Epstein. So what's he gonna do? Run a DNA test? All of his fucking vitals, all of his fucking samples, all of the blood, all of the hair, everything it's all going to be confiscated by the fucking feds. And what are the feds going to do with it? The video I show in this is the video I posted this morning. This is my archive video. Let's see how many views we got today. Bunch of downvotes. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of downvotes. No, already 138. Holy shit. That's pretty good. It's not even an hour old. That's good. In this video, go look at it. I lay out these. And of course, the evidence is the evidence. That is fucking Jeffrey Epstein. Checking on his property after a fucking hurricane. Doreen. Notice his fucking slippers. Yeah, he's wearing a blue shirt and the pants just like the rest of the fucking people, but that's so he won't stand out. But look at his size, diminutive, compared to this guy, who's about my size. And the other thing that he does in the fucking video, as soon as he's seen, as soon as he notices the fucking camera on the goddamn drone flying overhead, he does a very interesting thing. Look at how he stands. Look at how he holds his head. Look at how he folds his arms. Look at how his hair is whiter on the top and darker, slightly darker on the sides. It's the same fucking dude. Look at his shoes. Those aren't work shoes. He's not a worker there. And look at his fucking... Look, he looks up. He sees the fucking drone. And then very calmly, because he's a fucking billionaire, and he's not going to panic, he just slowly slides under the fucking canopy of his fucking golf cart. Why would someone who's just a fucking worker there do that? He doesn't do that. He has no reason to hide from the goddamn drone. This, by the way, is from Regular Rock. Regular Rock is not the guy who originally posted this. Rusty Shackelford is. But as Regular Rock here will tell you, they took his shit down. They took his shit down. Why? Probably because of that. And I'm sure they'll get around to Regular Rock whenever they can. But they took his shit down. Like they took mine. That is clearly hair slightly darker in the top, slightly darker at the top. Look at his nose, look at his smirk, look at the fucking jawline. Look at his smirk, look at his nose, look at the jawline. That, the way he stands there with his fucking arms folded, and earlier I showed you when he was talking to him, he had his head cocked off to the right. That's Jeffrey Epstein, and there's no fucking question about it. That might be, because they saw this drone, that might have been what motivated Ghislaine Maxwell to buy that property up in New Hampshire and protect it with a bunch of fucking ex-British military special forces. There's a long list of pseudocide in this country. It is a thing from the 20th century, starting in the 18th century, the 14th century, 1st century. Holy shit, 1st century, god damn. Ken Kesey, John Allen, a bunch of fucking people, including Adolf Hitler. A bunch of people faked their own fucking deaths in order to, as this first fucking sentence puts it, a fake death called a stage death or a pseudocide is the act of an individual purposely deceiving other people into believing the individual is dead when the person is in fact still alive. People who commit pseudocide can do so by leaving evidence, clues, and through other methods. Usually what you're doing is you're trying to evade pursuit or prosecution or some kind of lawsuits. All of these things are involved with him. They pretended to have him serve his time in Florida, where Ghislaine Maxwell is, by the way. They pretended to have him serve his time in Florida to appease the fucking ignorant masses while they were shuttling him around. They were basically a fucking shuttle service for him. In the end, he had to come back and, from what I understand, and from Julie Brown's fucking investigating and reporting, when it came out, it was groundbreaking, and of course they had to rearrest him. And then they had to put the next stage in operation. But they faked that whole thing. Pseudo-imprisonment, if you want to call it that. And that's where Ghislaine Maxwell is now, in Florida, in a minimum security facility. A club fed where the wealthy people aren't going to fucking talk. Because that would be class traitor. They would be called class traitors. The two guards who were there, and they were either sleeping or they were lying about the fact that they actually went through the fucking jail and checked on people the way they were supposed to. That story couldn't fucking exist because they would have seen him killing himself, supposedly. So they had to fucking make those guys the scapegoats. And they did. And they filed some charges against them. And those charges, some bullshit thing happened. And those guys are probably working right now on Little St. James Island, making more money than fucking doctors and lawyers in the United States do. It's payoff. this whole thing with James Baker's going to fucking give Matt Taibbi all of this truth, so you know exactly what happened. It's all a fraud. It's all a show. It's all a dog and pony show. Every single bit of it. You're not going to get anything new from these people. Certainly not from fucking Elon Musk, because Elon Musk has plans. Elon Musk has big plans with the fourth industrial revolution. He's going to make himself a lot of money, and he'll be a pharaoh when it's all said and done. And in the end, you go back and find that video where I talked about Elon Musk saying how wonderful the mRNA technology is, and eventually, if you want it, they think they'll be able to reverse the aging process, or at least halt it. If you want, and we all know, we take one look at fucking Elon Musk and we know exactly what he wants. They live in a different universe with different rules. Jeffrey Epstein is not dead. Elon Musk is not your fucking John Galt, captain of industry hero, come to set us all free. It's just not. Kanye West glows. Kanye West glows. None of it is as it seems. And you, of all people, have to keep that in mind and keep your head on a swivel. Don't get depressed, but don't be catfished either. Okay. That's my thing. I will post periodically. I'm going to post. I've still got how many videos do I have on? Hang on a second. Let me see if I can pull up and see how many videos I have on Epstein. There's a lot. It's not a huge amount. It goes back to, let's go back to, goes back to 2018, June 2018. I'll be posting some of these periodically from time to time because they're all gone now. They're all gone now, thanks to YouTube. I'll post these from time to time just so you can take a look at them. Yeah, there's some good information. There's some good, comparison photos of his dead body with him alive and well. Could very easily be, but my guess is they just did a little makeup on him real quick and took him out because they didn't do a whole lot of photography on him as they took him out in the car and the thing. And they left the fucking, they didn't put a sheet over him when they took him out or put him in a body bag, which is odd when they took him out. If he was actually dead when they took him out, they put him in a body bag. But they didn't do that because he's a billionaire. And they wanted to make sure that people got a quick shot of him, a quick photograph of him from a distance, so you would know, yep, it's Jeffrey Epstein. Don't worry. Of course, they put who they put in that fucking ambulance at the jail may not have been necessarily who they took out at the ME's office. Jeffrey Epstein is not dead. Why would they do it? Why would they do it? When they can even get the alt media of all people to come out and go, don't you fucking dare talk about him not being dead. Why would they fucking do it? They loved that man. And he had so much information on them and was smart enough to know he would have a nuclear option if he would all of a sudden end up incapacitated, comatose, dead, or in prison and not allowed to talk to anybody ever again. He would have a nuclear option. And everybody involved with him knows that. Plus, he was a mover and shaker and made them money and got them what they wanted. And they enjoyed him. So, why would they get rid of him? The answer is to appease you. And do they ever really do anything to make us happy? Yeah, they do. Every now and then. In this case, it's called pseudocide. Thank you for your time.